888-866-775.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Radio Show, only on Financial News and Talk. Now live in studio, your host, local and national real estate expert and consumer advocate, Ron Siegel.
And hello again. Welcome to Ron Siegel Radio. This is the show with no real boundaries as we discuss current events, financial markets, politics, sports, even poking fun at the rest of the media. This is the show that connects the dots of confusion delivered by conflicting media reports. We connect the dots. You know the actions you can take, how your family or business can benefit from current events. Most of all, thank you for joining me. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Before we get into our intriguing content today, please join me in welcoming our featured guest and repeat offender. Simon Polito is in the house. Welcome.
Good morning, Ron. How are you?
Glad to have you with us.
Thank you for having me, as always.
Let me remind you, if you ever have any home or finance-related questions, I am the consumer advocate looking out for you. And you can reach out to me directly, again, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Just remember, that's the number you call anytime for assistance. When you call that number, it comes directly to me first. There are no operators standing by. I am it.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
While I do have a great team when it comes to developing a financing plan or plan to save you money, I personally work with you. Even if you don't have any needs today, save this number in your phone for future reference, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. And yes, we're celebrating today. We celebrate every day on Ron Siegel Radio. It's a great day to be in America. Hey, it is the National Random Act of Kindness Day. I like that one. And you know, this one could be as a dear friend of mine says, this one might be problematic because today is National Cabbage Day. And you know what cabbage does for some people. So I'm not going to go all the way on that one. I'm just going to say it's National Cabbage Day. Beware. That's all I will say. Those of you who observed today's Ash Wednesday, and being the Jewish kid on the block, do you say Happy Ash Wednesday? I don't know. I'm not trying to be disparaging in any way, but it's Ash Wednesday. So those of you that celebrate, whatever that means to you, I encourage. I find it fascinating watching some of the live TV broadcasts where they've got the people that went and they have the ash on their forehead. And it does make, I'm an odd guy, so, it gives you a little extra humor. Let's see what else is going on in the market today. Well, let's see. The Dow Jones down 28 points. S&P 500 down 1980. The NASDAQ is down 185 points. Want to know why? I'll tell you. Oil up 28 cents a barrel. That will be jumping even more. Why is that happening? Well, we know the answer to that. It's because it's cold outside, right? If you're in not here in southern Calizuela, but if you're out there in Texas, I've got a relative in Houston, hasn't had power for a day and a half now. Think about that. Sub-zero temperatures, no power. The windmills aren't working. And if you don't have the windmills working, you're in trouble. So let's continue getting rid of our fossil fuel and go with more windmills. Now, they don't have to worry generally about multi-days at 100 degrees, but they have a lot of humidity. And now frozen windmills don't turn. Think about this one. How'd you like to be a pilot out there? Because the way they're solving this problem for some of these folks is they're actually going out with a helicopter and spraying the windmill so they can, kind of like a plane, de-icing it. So they can try and get rid of some of the ice on the windmill, get it turning, so maybe they can get some power. But, oh yeah, they've got to truck in the fuel to get the windmill turning. And, Uncle Joe doesn't want to have any fuel being trucked because the pipeline's gone. Can they run the trucks across the frozen roads? They can run the pipeline. That still goes when it's cold outside. I just throw that out there. Hey, if you're looking for gasoline, Mississippi, they're leading the country. $2.18.5 for gasoline in Mississippi. National average $2.54 a gallon. If you want to pay $3.37, $3.38, you're not going to do that in Calizuela. That's Hawaii's price, $3.38 a gallon. Calizuela with $3.49 is the average for the state of Calizuela. So why is that happening? Well, if the refineries are frozen, if they're shut down out there in Texas, there's going to be a shortage. That means the demand drops. Supply is going up, which means prices are up. And I actually have a picture here. I might even tweet. Oh, no, I don't have Twitter anymore. So I might actually share this with you on our Facebook page, our Instagram page. And it is a new hat. Some of you might have had the old red Make America Great Again hat. Well, I've got Joe Biden's new hat. It says make gas $4 again. Yeah, that's just, I just throw that out there. We make gas $4 a gallon again. I'm going to share that with you. If you go to any of our social channels, you'll be able to see that today. Just a little bit of fun for you. Let's see what else is going on in the world. Breaking news, we've got it for you. So 1 month and 1 week after I told you this, CNN is coming up with the information I shared with you 1 week, 1 month ago. CNN isn't sharing it. I'm sorry. They paid for it. CNN, according to this report, paid Antifa agitators at the Capitol riots. Now, I told you that, right?
Surprise, surprise, surprise.
And this particular institution actually has receipts to prove it. Think about that one. So, radical Antifa BLM agitator who infiltrated the Capitol riots, charged for his role in provoking criminal acts, was paid off by CNN. John Sullivan is his name, charged for participation in the January 6 riots, paid the whopping sum of $35,000 from CNN and $35,000, it looks like, from NBC for his footage inside the Capitol. That's a Politico report. They are certainly not on the side of the former president. But remember I told you right after that I had a couple of friends that were at the rally in Washington, and they saw the Antifa, they saw the BLM folks there. They knew that they were the ones causing the problems. Yeah, well, if Nancy Pelosi had done any kind of investigation.
But we have to pass the bill so that you can find out what is in it.
She might have known that, but maybe she knew it anyway. Maybe she just didn't want to tell anybody.
Nothing like a little air superiority.
Because we did know that the president had tried to order 10,000 troops, 10,000 National Guard troops, to be at the Capitol during the rally, and supposedly Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, Mitch McConnell, and the mayor of Washington, D.C. declined. They did not want to have it look like a military presence. What do you think it looks like now when they've got the fences all the way? Wait. They put fences around the Capitol building to protect these loony politicians, but they don't want a fence around the United States to protect the citizens of the U.S. Can somebody help me understand this? Do you think they just don't care about you and me?
Nothing like a little air superiority.
Yeah, we heard you already on that one. Just throw that out there to give you a little information. I'm just, I just share this stuff with you. You can take it for what you want. Let's see what else is going on. Obviously, we talked about the winter storms out there causing a lot of havoc around the United States, the southern part of the country. Think about that part of it because, we want to go with all this clean fuel. I've told you before, climate change policy has nothing to do with saving the climate. I believe that there is climate change issues. I believe we need a safe environment. Climate change policy just means let's tax the working people, the poor people, more than we've been taxing before, and we're not going to tell them that's what we're doing. Think about that concept. They're not going to tell anybody, but that's exactly what it's all about, is taxing people more. And I've told you, I've gone through this with you ad nauseum as to where it's happening, how it's happening. Moving right along. Governor Cuomo, he's in the news. Now, in New York, they're not trying to recall him like we're going to do here with Governor Newsom. But Cuomo, yeah, he's responsible directly for the death of thousands of people, 10,000s of people in New York, telling them that they have to go back, that people that are currently infected with COVID-19, you have to go back to the nursing home you came from. Does that make sense to anybody? I just throw that out there for you. It doesn't make much sense to me. Moving right along, let's see what else is going on in the world. Hey, William Shakespeare, he is no longer the writer we thought he was. Right? So William Shakespeare, they're going to not allowed to teach his writings anymore because he promotes misogyny and white supremacy.
You know better than that.
I can't make this stuff up. You just can't make these things up. But that's what's going on in the world today. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, in a market like this, how do you maximize the selling price of your home? We're going to chat about that with our guest. We're going to also chat a little bit about ways home equity can have a major impact on your life. And of course, we've got a featured home brought to you by myfavoritelender.net. All that and more. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Connect with us, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. On Twitter, at Ron Siegel, no longer there. Or on Facebook, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube, Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Real Estate Radio is hosted by local real estate and finance expert Ron Siegel. The purpose of this show is to help consumers understand what's really going on in our local real estate market. We're teaching you the why and the how-to, so you'll always be one step ahead of everyone else. Whether you need to sell your home for top dollar, refinance and save money, or even buy a bargain in Southern California, Ron Siegel can help. Call Ron directly at 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Take advantage of speaking with Ron anytime you're entering a real estate transaction. Having someone who can answer all of your questions that truly cares about you and your family's best interest is priceless. Call Ron Siegel today and you'll be glad you did. 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or you can visit realestateradio.com for more info.
Blue Water Credit Repair is the industry leader in fixing bad credit. Did you know a 40-point increase in your credit score can save you $40,000 on a home loan and $4,000 on a car loan? You deserve good credit and peace of mind. Take the first step today and go to bluewatercredit.com and register for a free consultation from one of their credit repair experts. That's bluewatercredit.com.
Trimming of your retirement does not include losing your house. However, due to today's lower stock market, higher medical bills, and taxes, many retirees face this very problem. This is why it is necessary that you, as a baby boomer considering retirement within the next 10 years, understand reverse mortgages and what one could do for you or your parents. A reverse mortgage could make it possible for you or your parents to travel, buy a second home, or start a new business. For more information about reverse mortgages, just call our off-air number at 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990, or visit realestateradio.com and click the free workshop button.
Are you currently renting a home? Do you like paying someone else's mortgage payment? Why not explore the options to purchase your own home? Can you imagine a 30-year fixed rate below 3.5% APR? This means with $10,500, you can purchase a $300,000 home and have a principal and interest payment of about $1,300 per month. What are you paying in rent? Does your family deserve the opportunity to take advantage of the current market? To learn more about these exciting opportunities, the Siegel Lending Team is standing by to speak with you. Call now, 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Rates subject to change without notice. Licensed to NMLS ID 217037. Equal housing lender. Not endorsed or sponsored by any government agency.
Are you paying rent because you cannot afford to live in your dream home? Are you paying rent because you don't believe you have the down payment funds to purchase your own home? At Siegel Lending Team at ronismylender.com has up to $25,000 to help qualified people purchase their own home at amazing interest rates. Contact the Siegel Lending Team today at ronismylender.com. Again, ronismylender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037. ronismylender.com.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Well, welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That's my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Mortgage Minute today being brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. When you're ready for that next mortgage strategy, you need to update the strategy. Geneva, they've got the programs, they've got the products, debt consolidation loans, purchase money loans, VA, USDA, no down payment, down payment assistance. They are all available. Let's take a look at what the markets are doing. The Dow Jones is now down 21 points. NASDAQ down. Ooh, look at that, down 187 points. I'm going to tell you why. Ow! The S&P 500 down 19 points. 10-year Treasury down to 1.27 yield. And we're looking at mortgage-backed securities. Finally, they're up a little bit. They've been going straight downhill. Why is the NASDAQ down? That's simple. Warren Buffett decided that he was going to sell a huge amount of his stock in Apple. He wants to buy Chevron instead of Apple. I guess, I don't know, you can't eat the Chevron, the gasoline, the Apple, whatever. So he still owns a massive amount of Apple stock, but Chevron is where they're moving that money to. And when he sells, the stock drops. So Apple right now down $3.40 a share. And that has a lot to do with why the Dow is down, the S&P is down. And obviously the NASDAQ down big. But what else is going on in the world? Well, we saw earlier today, retail sales came out. Big jump there in retail sales. It's going to be this month and next month, they're going to be legitimate numbers because that's January, February reporting. After that, the numbers are going to be massive because we're going to be looking at what is retail sales in May of 2021 or March 2021 versus March 2020. Well, we shut down in March of 2020, so that's not going to be a fair comparison. But it is up big today, and that's what's helped some stocks. The Producer Price Index measures wholesale inflation. That's the Rodney Dangerfield of indexes on inflation. Rose by 1.3% in January, 3 times more than expectations on a year-over-year basis. Headline PPI increased from 0.8 to 1.7. Core rate takes out food and energy. We don't need those anyway. Up 1.2% for the month. Increased from 1.2 to 2% year-over-year. So let's take a look at what else is going on. Mortgage applications. Those come out from the Mortgage Bankers Association every Wednesday morning. Volume decreased by 5.1% on purchases, down 6%, still up 15% from this time last year. Interest rates increased from 2.96 to 2.98. It's about 0.8 of a point, 0.75 of a point less than last year this time. Don't forget, you got to pay a little bit to get that rate. And there's going to be a bond auction today at 10 o'clock. That's going to tell us the direction of where rates are going in the future. That is the Mortgage Minute, brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. When you're ready for that next loan, Geneva, they've got the programs and the product. You just need to make the call. 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. So right now, yesterday we had Mary Walters was in from Realty Pro 100. And as we do on a regular basis every month, right around the middle of the month, we try and do a monthly market report from the millennials' point of view. You know, old people like me, we've got our own, we're kind of set on things. Mary brings a fresh perspective, a real estate professional, but in the world from the millennials' point of view. So then we look and say, and you heard us say that real estate, 1.9 months inventory supply. So you go out and you say, I want to list my house for sale. How do I get the most money for it? If you listened to our broadcast last week with Agent B, remember he told us that he had 29 offers on a listing, every one of them above the list price, and 20 of them had an acceleration clause. You're going to, you got to drink. It's looking right in front, right across your face when you put that in. I'm just silent cues to Simon while we're here. Looks kind of funny when you look at the a straw that's. If you're watching us on RonSiegelRadio.tv, it's kind of funny there. I jest. What the heck? But remember, Agent B told us about all those listings he had, and he ended up 20 of them had an acceleration clause. Well, what do you need an acceleration clause for when Simon Polito's in the house? Right? I mean, you have an acceleration clause on every listing.
It's live and active at the time of it happening.
Exactly. So maybe we could I'm going to put you on the spot.
Sure.
So just a little demonstration of how that works.
So like calling an auction.
Yeah, there you go.
Ladies and gentlemen, looking for opening bids at $500,000. Where do we go from there? Got 510 in front, 520 even better, 530 at the back. 530 to call right now, looking for a raise of 510, $10,000 even better. 540 I have in front, sir. First, second, third, or finish, or quite or done. Finished.
There you go.
That's when someone can come in with an acceleration clause, $5 more grand.
Right, so think about that. You've all heard that on some sort of TV show or whatnot. That'd be great HGTV.
It would be.
Right? But so explain what you just did there, Simon, so everybody understands.
So basically, we just fast-tracked the acceleration clause. Basically, we have a live auction where people have a paddle in their hand, just like at a charity event or at a car auction or art auction, and they're bidding with their own power in their hands. So you're transparently seeing your competitors in front of you and what they're offering, which doesn't often happen in a traditional method. You're often told by an agent, there's another offer, you need to go better. And that's why they had that acceleration clause in place. With us, they can see what the other person's offering, and they can offer even $100 more.
Wow. Okay.
So I'll take a $100 bid. I'll take a $500 bid. And sometimes we've gone up $40,000.
Now you're going to confuse me because I am a simple man.
Sure.
You're going to take a $100 bid for a $500,000 house.
Yeah, why not? Our job's to get the most money we can for the seller.
But $100?
Hey, $100 goes a long way for the seller.
As a simple man, I think what you're trying to say is $100 above the last bid.
Correct.
Not $100.
No. $100 on top. $100 raise. $100 raise.
So it's a $100 raise. Yeah. So have you ever, I used to be in economics at Chapman College and play with the statistics a little bit. So have you ever done any stats on what the percentage is? I mean, because when you've been in before, your motivation or your goal or your marketing plan is to get as many people as possible excited about that property.
Absolutely.
And we do that through the initial offer price.
Correct. The bidding to start from amount.
Okay, bidding to start from amount. So you're going to do that at market price?
No. Well, what we do is we look at the property. We look at what the seller's looking to achieve versus what we believe are the fair market comparables.
Right.
And then we want to look at what's on the market at the same time. And that'll determine how much lower below market we will start the bidding. If there's no competition, we don't need to be as aggressive. If there's a lot of inventory active at that time, then we need to be different to make it stand out on the page. So we'll start it a little bit lower. It's not a bait and switch. We're just going to try and get the attention to that property so they can realize the true value.
And if they've got a good real estate professional working with them,
correct,
they're going to realize that, that $1 million house really isn't going to sell for $750,000.
Exactly. And most consumers know that. With technology these days, their phone has all the information already given to them.
Sure.
So and they're already looking at multiple homes at any one time, I would imagine. So they're already seeing other comparables, and they understand somewhat what the value should be roughly. So they're going to see that, but they can't help themselves by saying, I might get a deal here.
Right.
And if they come to the home, then they have that initial thought of, oh crap, look at all the competition that's here as well. They saw it too. FOMO. Exactly.
You're missing out.
We have that beautiful thing called FOMO, and it works so well in our industry because when people fear missing out, they act or remove themselves.
Sure.
So this basically cuts out a lot of the time wasters of just people who aren't really genuinely serious about buying a property. But when they are interested, they can make their best move forward because we do all the due diligence ahead of time as well.
So explain the due diligence you're talking about ahead of time.
Yeah, so what we do to make everyone's life easier, we do the home inspection on the property, a termite report, seller's disclosures, natural hazard disclosure report, preliminary title report, any HOA CC&Rs if it is part of that community, and any permits that may have been pulled over the course of ownership. So that way then we're giving all the unknowns up front to a consumer so they can make an educated and confident decision as to whether they'd like to make a pre-auction offer or bid on auction day with confidence.
Wait a second. We got two things there that I want to chat with you about further. So you've got a pre-auction offer.
Yes.
And then bidding on auction day.
Correct.
So I want to chat about that with you when we come back.
Yeah.
And we're going to get more in depth and we're going to get granular. If you're thinking about selling your house and you're concerned, how do I get the most money for my house? You might want to be listening in. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate current events and the financial markets. When we come back, we're going to also chat a little bit. Yeah, maybe, with me, I sometimes get a little carried away. 3 ways home equity can have a major impact on your life. And yes, we do have a featured home today, brought to you by my favorite lender.net. All that and more. You can reach me anytime off air. Number 800-306-1990. 800-306-1990 or RonSiegelRadio.com, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. No longer on Twitter at Ron Siegel. But if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the number 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Hi, we're here with Ron Siegel, the host of Real Estate Radio. Ron, welcome to the studio. Give us insight as to what your show is all about.
Hi, Eric. Thanks for having me. Thanks for asking me that question. The reason we developed Real Estate Radio is right now there is an abundance of misinformation out there. So Real Estate Radio is a show designed to give Southern California a focal point for their real estate knowledge, as well as a place to go just in case they might need anything real estate related.
So how are you helping people?
That's actually pretty simple. People need advice. So it really doesn't matter who you are. If you have any real estate questions, we're here to help. Whether you're buying a home, selling, you're experiencing a loan modification, short sale, foreclosure, there are a lot of things going on in this marketplace.
How can people get a hold of you?
Real easy. All you have to do is call. The number is 1-800-306-1990. Press option 1.
Interesting times in the market right now. Where do you think the markets are going from here?
That's a great question. All I can say is this. The housing market came down one house at a time, and what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to build it one house, one family at a time. So the best thing that anyone can do is access the free advice that we really want to give you. And to do that, you simply need to call me. The number is 1-800-306-1990, option 1. I'd really love to help.
Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Are you paying rent because you think you cannot afford to live in your dream home? Are you renting because you don't believe that you have the down payment funds to purchase your own home? The Siegel lending team at ronismylender.com has up to $25,000 to help qualified people purchase their own home at amazing interest rates. Contact the Siegel lending team today at ronismylender.com. Again, ronismylender.com, license under NMLS 217037. ronismylender.com.
Are you currently renting a home? Do you like paying someone else's mortgage payment? Why not explore the options to purchase your own home? Can you imagine a 30-year fixed rate below 3.5% APR? This means with $10,500, you can purchase a $300,000 home and have a principal and interest payment of about $1,300 per month. What are you paying in rent? Does your family deserve the opportunity to take advantage of the current market? To learn more about these exciting opportunities, the Siegel Lending Team is standing by to speak with you. Call now, 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Rates subject to change without notice. Licensed to NMLS ID 217037. Equal housing lender. Not endorsed or sponsored by any government agency.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The real-time real estate segment today being brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Text SLT Home Digest to 79564. Find your dream home before someone else does. The digest tells you what the county recorder knows about your property, what the market believes about your property. And of course, it's from Ron Siegel Radio, so it is free to you. 3 ways home equity can have a major impact on your life. There have been a lot of headlines reporting on how homeowner equity, the difference between the current market value of your home and the amount you owe on your mortgage, has dramatically increased over the past few years. CoreLogic indicated that equity increased for the average homeowner by $17,000 in the last year. Adam Data Solutions, in their latest U.S. home equity report, revealed that 30.2% of the 59 million mortgaged homes in the United States have at least 50% equity. That doesn't even include the 38% of homes that are owned without a mortgage, free and clear. How can equity help a household? Well, having equity in your home could dramatically impact your life. Equity is like a savings account. You can tap into it when you need cash. Like any other savings, you should be sensible in how you use it. Here are 3 good reasons to consider using your equity. Number 1, you're experiencing financial hardship, job loss, medical expenses, etc. Number 2, you need money to start a business. Number 3, you want to invest in a loved one's future. It's safe to assume a percentage of that down payment money likely came from home equity when you might want to help somebody else buy a house. And as I've told you many, many times, the rate of return on home equity is 0 always. So why not take that equity out and put it in something that's going to get you a safe, secure return on investment? I know FINRA doesn't like me to say that, but I'm not regulated by FINRA, right? So why not use that to buy another piece of property, to buy one of those safe and secure insurance products? There's a lot of things you can do. Nothing's guaranteed in this world. Taxes are. But there are some better things than getting a 0 rate of return on your home equity. Bottom line, savings in any form is a good thing. The forced savings you can earn making a mortgage payment enables you to build wealth through home equity. That equity can come in handy in both good and more challenging times. Remember this, I've told you this before. You want that to be a safe, secure, liquid investment. Because leading a lending team, I can tell you this firsthand, we don't lend money to anybody that needs money. We lend money to people that want money, right? So if you're desperate, you need money, and you've got a free and clear house, but no job, no income, you're not going to get a loan. You have to look out for those things ahead of time when things are all peachy keen. That's the real-time real estate segment brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Text SLT Home Digest 79564. Find that dream home before someone else does. So we're chatting this morning. Simon Polito is in the house. He comes in and visits with us, educates us, talks about a different way of selling real estate, because when he came in the first time, I said, hey, this is new. I've never heard, and it turns out that it's not new. It's that I'm a simple guy and I never heard of it. Simon told us that it's been in Australia for over a year or 2.
It's one of just a few extra years on top of that. But
right.
It's one of the oldest methods of buying and selling anything in the world, not just real estate.
Sure. Yeah, what did they do? Buy and sell on an auction in the cowboy and Indian day? I'm not going to go there. That could get us in trouble. But we're talking about the auctions, and we've got a couple of things that came up. Pre-auction offer. What is a pre-auction offer?
That's something we're encountering a lot of in this current market, where people don't want to wait.
Okay.
Because we have a 28-day program. So if you see it on the first day, odds are you don't want to wait 28 days, especially in a hot market that we're experiencing.
Sure.
So they're making a pre-auction offer. And they're able to do that with confidence because of the amount of due diligence and information we provide them with upfront, as opposed to the traditional method of you make the offer first and then you go into a negotiation of going through your inspections and reports and then trying to renegotiate the price.
So what's the benefit to me as a seller of accepting a pre-auction offer instead of waiting to get that frenzy and the FOMO that we talked about?
True. So what we find over the course of the campaign, we get a lot of feedback. So if someone was a standout, so let's just say if your home's starting the bidding at $500,000 and you've got 12 offers at $550,000, but you've got someone who's made you a pre-auction offer of $650,000. It's obviously a standout. if you were to hold an auction, there's a big enough gap between you and the next competitor. So it might be something that the seller might want to consider seriously, wrap it up, get their price they're happy with, and open up escrow with no contingencies.
Bird in the hand.
Correct.
Okay, so now bidding at the auction, is that all done in person, or can you have surrogates, or how does that work?
Yeah, we have multiple options, and obviously with COVID restrictions, we have to implement extra ones. So now we have online capability on phone, FaceTime, Zoom.
Okay.
You can have someone proxy bid for you.
Okay, proxy.
You can have someone from our office be on the phone with you if you like, or you can have your agent bid, or you can just go traditional and just bid it yourself.
That sounds like interesting. So you're actually having to monitor. You're having to have a sizable team there.
Correct.
To monitor all these different. Although I guess we have to tell you in advance that I want to do it by FaceTime, or I want to do it by Zoom, or I want to do it by Meetup, or whatever that Microsoft's version is.
Yeah, we have a pre-registration form you need to fill out, and that needs to come back to us 2 days before the auction. So that gives us enough time to coordinate the right staff to do the right jobs on the day.
So now let's explain a little bit, because we hear about the dreaded, and especially it's in the news right now a lot, that we may start getting into a foreclosure world because of what's gone on in COVID. And in the foreclosure world, you always hear about, you get the bargain of the century.
Yes, you do. There's a lot of risks that are associated with those. We typically don't touch foreclosure properties. We only list traditional, unique, and luxury homes because of the reason of the.
So not a tract home.
That's California.
No, but if I had a tract home that's not, if I've got a simple condo that's
absolutely. We've got a beautiful condo right now in Lake Forest.
Okay.
Starting the bidding at $300,000.
Wait.
Yes.
$300,000. You're starting the bidding in Lake Forest
for a 2-bedroom.
And it's not just a garage, right?
No, it hasn't even got a garage. It's actually got a carport.
Holy cow! Because you think about
two bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and one car space in a carport form.
$300,000
starting the bidding. So it's obviously not going to sell for $300,000.
Right.
There are comps that support somewhere in the high 3s, even the low 4s.
Okay.
But for us, we don't know what it's actually going to sell for, because the market's going to drive that price to where they see fit.
That's a fascinating concept right there, because in your world, you really don't care what the value of the property is, because the market's can always tell us.
Exactly. I don't like comps. Comps are from previous sales, from previous buyers who are no longer in the marketplace.
Sure.
Comps are great for us to get an understanding of where it might be.
Right.
But it's never going to be where it will be, because the buyer holds the value. Absolutely.
It's interesting. So if you're listening to, I don't know. I might put Simon on the spot here. If you're listening to us, when's the auction for that one?
That one's going to be on the 27th.
27th? February.
February. Live on site, 2 p.m.
2 p.m. on site. And you know what? Maybe we can get you to send us the information on it. We can put it on our Facebook page. And
we'll be streaming it live as well.
Wow. Okay.
And again, unless sold prior. If someone makes an offer to stop the auction, it may not get that far.
Okay, so if I really, really fall in love with that property,
yes,
then what? Let's walk this through. We didn't even plan on this, Simon. But
yeah, we've got a showing today. Actually, we're showing people today between 3 and 4, pre-registered, so not an open house format. But we're going to show people through today. We got a showing on Saturday, and we have another showing this Saturday coming, and the next Wednesday. Then we have the auction.
So if I want to see this property, I've got to book ahead of time. You just
correct.
said.
Yeah, you or your agent books in one of the slots we have available.
Okay.
You come along and look at the home. We give you the due diligence package with all the information in front of you.
And so I'm assuming this is a condo.
This is a condo.
Okay. So you're going to have all of the condo paperwork there, condo cert, condo CCRs.
We have it all hard copies, and we also have the digital version as well, which we send you a link to. It's a Google Drive.
Okay.
So that way then you can go home at your own leisure, open up your iPad, your computer, whatever you're looking at it on, and be comfortable and review it at your own leisure.
And so then, because I don't know what I'm looking at, right?
Yes.
So then I can have my agent view all that information. And as we shared yesterday, we talked with Mary yesterday. We had a big issue there that, hey, you know something? Most people don't know what they're doing right now because we don't buy houses every day.
Correct. You've got to really align yourself with a great advisor. I don't call them salespeople. I call them advisors.
Right.
Because they are giving you the biggest advice you possibly will get in your life.
Absolutely.
And you have to have that level of trust. And if it's someone you've just randomly met on Zillow,
or your brother's first cousin, once removed dog's
exactly right. That's,
owner,
you hear that every day.
Yeah,
and that's when you often hear the scary stories that come after.
Right.
Because they didn't have the good experience. And you really got to align yourself with someone who understands the process and understands what your situation is at hand.
And from my understanding of this, Simon, there is a bit of risk in the auction process because, it's a non-contingent purpose transaction.
Correct.
So I have to do all my due diligence. If I get there and I get overexcited, my wife's kicking me under the table saying, bid.
Yeah, we've been there. We've all been there.
Right. So I know I have a relative that actually he was bidding at a charity auction against his wife because they were on opposite sides of the room.
As an auctioneer, I look for those scenarios and play on those.
Sure.
But that's very true what you said. The wife is always squeezing the husband. As an auctioneer, I'm looking for that in the crowd.
Sure.
To look for that emotional attachment.
Right.
That's what ultimately
That's
gets
your
the best
job.
price. Absolutely.
But so the risk here to the consumer is you've got to know what you're doing. You've got to say firmly, this $300,000 starting bid offer, I am not going over $395,000.
Yeah, and that's why you got to align yourself with a good lender.
Okay.
Your lender's going to, like we spoke about it earlier before the show, Ron, you've got to have a lender that's going to tell you what you can extend yourself to.
Sure.
Doesn't mean you have to spend that much, but at least it gives you the confidence to know what your capability is. So you can bid on auction day with confidence.
There's a level of adrenaline that happens from an auctioneer.
Oh, yeah.
Right. That's your job, is generating a level. Because I've been to many, many auctions, not for real estate, but for other businesses.
And I thrive on that.
Sure.
If it's a dead market, a dead crowd, so to speak, and they're not lively, I'm flat.
Sure.
So the more exciting the crowd is, the more exciting I get because I feed off that energy.
We're going to continue our conversation. Simon Polito, RECA is the name of the company. And you can see that scrolling along the bottom of our screen if you're watching us on RonSiegelRadio.tv or the ABC News and Talk AM 1490 KMET video feed. We've got it all sitting there. We're going to continue with Simon in just a minute when you come back. We also have that featured home brought to you by my favorite lender.net. All that and more you can reach me anytime off air number 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990 or RonSiegelRadio.com, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. No longer on Twitter at Ron Siegel, YouTube. If you miss any part of the broadcast, Ron Siegel 1, Ron Siegel the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Do you have a goal of mortgage-free home ownership? What if your home was valued at $500,000? Are you aware that a free and clear home could be costing you $2,500 every month, $30,000 per year? The mortgage planners at the Siegel Lending Team would like to show you how you can own your home, generate tax-free income, and accumulate family wealth. You simply need to call Ron Siegel at 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. By sending the team a copy of your most recent mortgage statement, the team will send you a no-obligation mortgage adoption plan. You be the judge if it's right for your family. Again, all you have to do is send the team a copy of your mortgage statement by email to map@ronsiegelradio.com or call today Ron Siegel 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporation and MLS 217037 and BCAL-BRE number 018694452.
Are you paying rent because you cannot afford to live in your dream home? Are you paying rent because you don't believe you have the down payment funds to purchase your own home? At Siegel Lending Team at RonIsMyLender.com has up to $25,000 to help qualified people purchase their own home at amazing interest rates. Contact the Siegel Lending Team today at RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037. RonIsMyLender.com.
Do you believe Southern California real estate is a great investment? Are you a little short to be a cash investor? Are you missing the Social Security card or tax returns? The Siegel Lending Team has the loans for you. Common Sense Lending is back. Yes, there's a cost to higher risk, but the reward can be great. Call today for details. 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporations, NMLS 217037 and DRE number 1869452.
Are you currently renting a home? Do you like paying someone else's mortgage payment? Why not explore the options to purchase your own home? Can you imagine a 30-year fixed rate below 3.5% APR? This means with $10,500, you can purchase a $300,000 home and have a principal and interest payment of about $1,300 per month. What are you paying in rent? Does your family deserve the opportunity to take advantage of the current market? To learn more about these exciting opportunities, the Siegel Lending Team is standing by to speak with you. Call now, 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Rates subject to change without notice. Licensed to NMLS ID 217037. Equal housing lender. Not endorsed or sponsored by any government agency.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. That featured home segment today being brought to you by myfavoritelender.net. Hey, if you got that property, who's got the property today? We're searching. I guess I should have that searching soundtrack going in the background, but I know who's got it. I know where it is, and it's on the screen right now. If you're watching us on RonSiegelRadio.tv, any of our social channels, or the ABC News and Talk, AM 1490 KMET video feed, you're going to see the property right now. It's from Melinda Johnson. She's got the property for us. 5 Rue de Chateau, if you please. I think I said that right. It's in Aliso Viejo, 3 bedrooms, 2 full and a half a bathroom. I don't know if it's got the front half or the back half of the bathroom, but it's got a half a bathroom. Welcome home to this gorgeous move-in ready home situated at the end of the cul-de-sac in the sought-after community of Soleil, I think is what it says here. I can hardly read. Step inside and appreciate the solid surface, wood-style tile flooring. The signature neutral gray paint, neutral, holy cow. I'm going to have to try and figure this out. Newer baseboards, crown molding, accented by cozy limestone fireplace with a custom distressed wood mantle. Open floor pan features a kitchen, that's good to know, with quartz countertops and an inlaid glass tile backsplash, stainless steel appliances, recessed lighting. All of that. $699,000 is what the list price is. I don't know if Simon had it. It may go for, I don't know. I better not say that. I'll get myself in trouble. But hey, if you're thinking about financing this, 3.5% down, you're looking at $3,130 a month. If you're looking at 20% down, $2,283 a month. Those are both principal and interest numbers. Strategically, 25% down, $2,038 a month. And for those of you keeping score, that would be a 4.752 APR, 2.805 APR, and 2.587 APR, NMLS 217037. Got to keep those compliance people happy. So we give you all that information right there. And again, 5 Rue de Chateau is the property, our featured home today. If you want to meet Melinda Johnson, give me a call, 800-306-1990. I will put you in touch with her to see this property. That's the featured home. Again, brought to you by myfavoritelender.net. We're going to continue our conversation this morning. Simon Polito is in the house talking about auctions. We were talking about a property. What city was that?
Lake Forest.
Lake Forest. That's not too far from Aliso Viejo down there.
No.
Right?
That'd be a great listing, actually.
And think about this. Simon's got this property, starting bid $300,000.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be an interesting one. And so, you know, when you're talking about somebody like this at a $300,000 starting price, and I don't know if it's going to sell 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, whatever the number is, right? Most people in that price range are not cash buyers.
Correct. Yeah,
So-
unless they're an investor.
Unless they're an investor.
Yeah.
So they've got to come to you. They've got to come to you knowing they've got financing in place. Do you check their financing?
So we can't obviously at first, but then we have the conversation with them. Where are you at with your lending? And we ask them all the qualifying questions. Do you have a lender? If not, would you like us to refer you to 3 that you might fit better with one than the other?
Sure.
Or where are you at your stage? Can we help you get your underwriting done, and can we get you moving forward?
So your job in this scenario is really educating people to kind of to protect themselves.
Yeah, we don't want to put anyone in a risky position. You mentioned before the risks of buying real estate with auctions. It's actually, we've tried to remove a lot of the risks to make this a safer option rather than traditional. And that's the ultimate reason why I've done this, because I wanted to give back to the buyers and sellers in the marketplace, because there wasn't a format that was more protective.
Sure. So the important question, so I'm the buyer of this property at Lake Forest. What is my... So let's just say hypothetically, I come in there and I win the bid at, I don't know, $475,000.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's realistic or not.
You break a record if you did, but that's great.
Okay. Yeah, I'm a record breaker. Usually record breaking that I do comes out to do with eating, but not spending money. Right. But I come in there at $475,000. Is that my final number? I mean, so I'll probably have to pay for, my lender's probably going to force me to pay for an appraisal.
Yes, he's going to do your appraisal.
Do most of your people do their own home inspection, even though you've already done one?
No, you know what? Very rarely. We do it through a third-party company. We often use some of the best in the state.
Okay.
That way, they've got a reputable, reputation, and they've got a great insurance liability. It's very important to have that.
Okay.
And that way, that people can see it's a third party. It's not either one of the seller or the agent influencing this. So,
gotcha.
I use a company that are typically known as the deal breakers.
Okay.
Because they go so thorough. So buyers typically don't order another inspection unless they feel that there's something they would have noticed that wasn't on the report.
And from what we've talked about in the prior segment, I'm going to know more about this property when I go to make an offer, which is in your world is called a bid, right? Than I would if I made an offer on a traditional piece of property.
Correct.
Right, because most of the time I'm not going to have that home inspection ahead of time. I'm not going to have the set of disclosures and the natural hazard report.
Everything.
Right, so I don't have those things when I make that. So that's getting rid of that secondary negotiation part.
Which is often where the escrows fall apart.
Okay.
We don't. I've never had a property fall out of escrow in my career.
Oh, that's good.
Never. And I'm in my 20th year now.
Wow.
So I'm very proud of that statistic, because we do a lot of that research and due diligence up front. It's a bit of pain, but it's nowhere near the pain you would experience if you fell out of escrow.
Sure. Now, obviously, I'm going to hit you with the toughie right now.
Go for it.
Who pays you? How do you make money?
We have multiple ways.
Okay.
So we have a seller's market package, and we have a buyer's market package. Right now, we're in a seller's market, obviously.
Right.
So we're charging only a 2% buyer premium.
That's cheap.
Yes, our nearest competitor, actually good news for you, a world record was broken last week in the world for the highest paid price for a residential property at auction. And it wasn't in Australia.
Wow.
It was in Bel Air, LA County.
Wow.
And they were advertising it at $115 million.
Ooh. I bet that wasn't financed.
No, I highly doubt that. But he didn't need the money, so maybe he did.
If you're buying a house at $115 million, you got.
But that company that they went through, and I won't mention who it was, but that company that they went through to use for the auction charged a 12 to 15% buyer premium.
Wow. 12. So let's just.
That's about $13 to $15 million.
$13 to $15 million
in one transaction. We're charging only 2%. One, because we don't want to take advantage of the market. We want to help someone get a home. And 2% is we found was a fair enough amount where people could get that there's funds available.
Sure.
Because it is like a closing cost. You paid at closing. And that's how I get paid.
Okay. Because, and I hope you don't get upset with me, but that's always, as a consumer advocate, I always tell people, something you need to know, because you have to feed your family.
Oh, absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
So it's a fair question. When you're talking to a real estate professional, when you're talking to a lender, when you're talking to an appraiser, anybody, it's fair to say, how do you get paid? You're not doing it because you like me, right? We might like each other. That's a bonus, right? So it's a fair question to always throw that out there, and that way it's out front, right?
Yeah,
it's not.
It just removes that animosity.
Yeah, I'm not thinking, okay, if I pay more, do I get charged more? So in this case, if I go with that 475, and I can't figure that out because I'm a simple man.
Roughly
so you
8,500.
So we're going to add $8,500 to that, and I just need to know that going in, and that's part of my financing package, right?
Depending on your situation,
Okay.
Everyone's different. If you want to try and factor it into your financing, that's up on you. But if it doesn't appraise that extra amount,
right,
that's obviously a risk you're going to take.
Okay, so
we say it's not included, but if you would like to try, then it's up to you.
Okay, so you need to just understand that. Ask your lender: are they able to finance that in, or is it a close? Is it considered part of the price, or is it considered part of the closing costs? Well, you have to find that out.
Correct.
And you also have to ask, and I'm not going to ask Simon this, but because I want you to do your own due diligence on this, find out from your CPA or your agent, how is it going to be assessed in your property taxes? Is it a purchase price? Is it a tax deductible price? I'm not giving you any kind of tax advice here on Ron Siegel Radio. I just ask you the questions, but I do suggest set that first radio preset button to come back here and join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting your house and your bank account. Thanks to all of our sponsors. A big thanks to John and Sean who are engineering us today. And of course, a special thanks to you for spending a little bit of your day with us. That's all for Ron Siegel Radio. Again, if you have any questions or meet any of our guests, you want to auction off a property or you want to buy at auction, give me a call. I'll put you in touch with Simon. But remember my motto: make a lot of money so you can help a lot of people and have a lot of fun. Have a great day. We'll talk to you next time on Ron Siegel Radio.